Everybody, hope this finds you doing well. In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to import the new Blueprint course template into courses inside of Canvas. This can be applied to new or existing courses. The very first thing that we'll do is sign into your Canvas account at verduniaks.instructure.com. Once you're signed in and you're looking at the dashboard here, you're going to see all of your current courses. You're also going to be able to go over and start a new course if necessary. This is going to be necessary if you're an elementary teacher or if you're creating a class that doesn't already exist, something that you didn't already work with in the 2019-2020 school year. To start a new course, simply click right here on this button, give it a name, and for the name I would encourage this to be just some sort of temporary placeholder type name, such as math temporary or English temporary or something like that. Content license and making the course visible really don't matter at this point. Go ahead and just click create course. And once you've done this, you can just go ahead and hit the home button to come back over to your dashboard. You're going to see that new course is listed. It's going to be empty. You're going to see all your other courses there as well. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and import the blueprint into this course. So we're going to go ahead and open it back up. We're going to hit import from Commons. Commons is basically an online cloud repository that's unique to Canvas. If you've never used Commons before, the very first time that you do, it's going to prompt you to get permission. So we're going to go ahead and hit import from Commons. Like I said, you would see that prompt to get permission if you had not ever used that before. We're going to go ahead and close this out. And what you're going to do is you're going to search for the blueprint template that you're going to apply. So you're going to type in USD 484 and course template should pop up pretty quick. So we're going to go ahead and click on this. I would encourage you to go ahead and add it to favorites, so that way it shows up in your favorites up here at the top. That's going to make it so that you don't have to download or make it so you don't have to search for it every time. And then as you scroll down, you're going to see a little bit kind of a preview of what this looks like. So we're going to go ahead and hit import/download. And when you do this, you're going to see all of the courses that you have. For now, I'm going to go ahead and just import this into 2 courses. But you could go ahead and select all of your courses and just import it at once. It only takes a handful of minutes for it to actually sync. So I'm going to go down and find this math temporary course that I just created. So you can see I can select multiple courses there. And I'm going to hit import into course. It tells me I've successfully started the import. So I'm going to go ahead and leave Commons. I'm just going to hit my home button. And I'm back on my dashboard here. So what I'm going to look for, I'm going to go back to my math temporary. And it's imported everything. So everything is there now. What I'm going to talk a little bit now is the layout that this changes. What this does is this applies a standard format or a standard template to all of the courses that are taught in the district, so that they all have the same look and feel. We're going to jump over here and look at Student View real quick. I encourage you to use Student View often because this shows what the student will actually see. What this does is this gives them a much more pared down sidebar menu, and then everything is organized into modules. Inside of this modules layout, we do have a getting started module with a couple of items. This is going to be standard to all of the different courses. So in this one, there's an about this course, about the teacher, contact information, Zoom information, and resources. These are set up so that they have to be completed, so that the student has to go through all of those. to actually move on to the next module. Notice how this is a prerequisite. So getting started, getting that completed is required before they move on. There's a built-in help for the students and parents. So this is a module that needs to stay visible at the end of every particular item or every particular class. So they've got how to turn in assignments, how to work with discussions, how to work with quizzes, and then there's guides for parents so they can go through and make sure that they're familiar with the observer role and what Canvas can do in the parent app if they want to use that. You're going to notice that the structure for all of the modules is the same. So it's going to say Module 1. You're going to replace the title. You're going to have an About Module 1 section where you have a little bit of an explanation of what students do. You're going to have a Section 1 header, Section 2 header, and be able to create an outline. So we're going to leave Student View. You're going to notice when you're in Teacher View, you still see all of this over here, but you see the eye on this. So that's basically what prevents it from showing up in the Student View. So again, we're going to leave Student View, come back over. And we're going to take a quick look at what some of the modules have inside of them. So the very first thing you would do is you're setting up your first course as you go in and start building your Getting Started module. About this course, you come in, click on this, you'd hit Edit, and you can go ahead and start editing some of the placeholder text. So what we would do in this About the course is we would go ahead and include your official course description, anything else there that you want to have. Hit Save when you're finished. About the teacher, again, click Edit. This might be a great opportunity for you to come in and put a small video of yourself talking in there, anything you want to share about yourself, any of your hobbies, interests, anything that's going to help you connect to the students. What do you like about the particular subject or the particular topics that are going to be covered in the class, why you're a teacher, anything that's going to help you make those connections to students so you can build that out however you want to. Next one is going to be your contact information. You're going to edit this and you're going to make sure that you have your email address in there, your school email address, any other means of communication. If you have other ways that students connect with you, please make sure that those are included there. If you're a 712 teacher, please make sure that you have your room number in there, and just make sure that you have that in there. That's going to be important because we can always tell students or parents, teachers' contact information, go to the contact information page, and there they have it. You're going to notice I'm clicking the next button right here just to navigate through here. So you're on the Zoom page. Again, you're going to edit this. You're going to put the direct link to your meeting for this class, your meeting number, and your password. And then finally, the Resources tab. This Resources page for this particular module can be filled with anything that you might want to include in there. So this is going to be a place where you might want to include the book information, maybe where you want to include certain things that students need to bring every day. You might want to include your particular class expectations, anything that you think would be generally helpful there. So once you've got all of this built, it's time to come down and start looking at how you would actually build your modules. Building the modules, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. What we're going to do is we're going to utilize an outline view. So right now we've got module 1, and I'm going to go ahead and I would probably just start building this one. You're going to notice that you can duplicate these modules as needed. So even though there's only 2 modules in there, you can come in and make copies of these over and over. You're going to notice that by default these 2 modules are published and the content and these items are published. As you come in, you're going to go ahead and be able to start adding some different items. So I might come in now and start building a little bit of a module here, and I'm going to start by putting in some descriptors of what the students will do. to change the indentation to 2 levels. So I went ahead and I started building out, and I can go ahead and start editing this a little further. So I'm going to come in now, I'm going to say module 1, we're going to call this multiplication. Go ahead and publish these, even though they're blank. I'm going to come into a module 1, and in this particular file, which is going to be included in each module, this is a chance for you to come in and explain what they're going to be learning, what they're going to need to do to complete the module, and how it can be completed, how long it should take, if it's something that's going to take them 2 days, if it's something that's going to take them 2 weeks, and so on. So edit that out as needed. So then in this particular section 1, I'm going to come in and I'm going to just include a little bit about this particular section, the multi-step multiplication. And one of the things that we really want to push is more and more direct interaction between you and the students. And even though this is done virtually through Learning Management System, you can still include video of yourself. So we've got this nice little tool right here. It looks sort of like an old-fashioned play button that you might find on a tape recorder, remote control, CD player, etc. When you click this, the very first time that you click it, it's probably going to pop up and ask for permission. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and just make a quick recording that is you talking directly into the computer, saves the video of yourself. You can see yourself here. You can kind of preview what you look like, so you can adjust your hair, make sure your beard's straight, whatever you want to do before you actually get going. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start recording, and away we go. Hello students, hope you're doing really well today. In this particular module, you're going to be focusing on multi-step multiplication. The very first thing that you're going to do is you're going to watch a video on Khan Academy. So you're going to click the next link and it's going to take you directly to that video to watch that. Then you're going to go through and you're going to complete the handout that's on the next page, and you're going to submit that. You need to complete this within 2 days, and I will provide feedback as soon as finished. So you can watch that, make sure it's the way that you want it to be. You can give it a name if you want to. And you can re-record it if you'd like. And then it's pasted in. So this is going to show as a little thumbnail. When you clicked on it, we'll come back to it in just a second. We're just going to take just a minute, it looks like. You're also going to notice as I'm building this, I'm building everything in modules layout. I'm not coming over and putting stuff into assignments or putting stuff into discussions or anything like that. I'm just building it right here. So that really is going to help the flow and the layout of the course. You're going to see how I indented stuff right here. So I'm going to click on Student View again. Notice how it's got this nice outlined layout. So I'm going to show now how I might come in and embed some content. So I'm going to go to the external tools option. I'm going to click on this, and I have a pop-up of integrated tools, and this is just a small little bit of integrated tools. We have tons of things that we can integrate with Canvas. So we're going to come in and we're going to go to Khan Academy, and we want math, and let's say this is 5th grade math, multi-digit multiplication. So I've got that in there.
Hello students, hope you're doing really well.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to kind of quickly look at this in student view. Alright, so the student signs in, they're in their course. The very first thing they're going to have to do is complete these items before they can go on. So, student comes in, you might make your very first activity with the class completing the Getting Started module. So they come in, they go through, they click through, they read them. The reason we want that Getting Started module in there, and we want it required for each course, is we want students to make sure that they're familiar with the information about the course, make sure they know where the contact information is, make sure they understand the expectations for the course, for the teacher, make sure they know what they're learning in that course. It also gives us a tool that we can easily say, check this information. If you need to contact a teacher, it's right there. If you need, if you have a question about what students are learning, it's right there. So you're going to notice, I'm going to click back over on, you're going to notice all of those items are completed. So I can move on to the multiplication module. So I would jump in and I would look at the About Module 1, which would obviously include a little bit more of an actual explanation here. And then I could jump back over and the student, I would say, okay, step 1, I need to watch this video explanation. That's pretty straightforward. Come in, click this.
Hello students, hope you're doing really well today.
And they get to watch that wonderful video. And it tells me to go on to step 2 and watch this video about multiplication. So I click here.
We now have the general.
So the really nice thing about embedding videos directly in here is I don't have to send a kid directly over to a website. I don't have to send them over to YouTube. I don't have to send them over to Khan Academy, anything like that. Everything is self-contained. The fewer clicks that we have to have, the better, because we can control the flow. We can control what students are looking at, where they're going, and so on. So we can really keep things on track. We're going to spend a lot more time diving into a lot more features, but this is enough to get you up and running with the course blueprint, how to import it, the layout, and how to start duplicating modules and adding some basic content to help you understand the general overall flow. If you have questions, please let me know. Happy to help. You can reach out via phone or email.